St. Andrews, the home of golf. Tucked in plain view below the town, the Old Course is what brings the golfing masses from far and wide to this university town. But as soon as you turn away from the shops and tourism and towards the water, you find a links so pure it is the favorite of the locals who golf these hallowed grounds daily. The oldest new course in the world, the second course at the home of golf, was built by the keeper of the green, Old Tom Morris, in 1895. And it was imaginatively named to differentiate it from its famous neighbor. Boasting undulating fairways and challenging greens, this is a can't-miss classic test of links golf. Come with me as I play one of the most beautiful and challenging links courses Scotland has to offer. This is the new course at St. Andrews. Hole 1 at the new course is a short par 4, but playing into the wind, it's definitely not easy. I hit a pretty good drive up the right side, but you see me watching it because the ball rolls forever, and the gorse and rough cut in a lot more on the new course than they do on the old. Luckily, it stops in the first cut, and I have a short little iron in that I hit up onto the green, and I give myself a look at birdie on hole number 1. The putt's about 10 feet. I have a pretty good read on it. And, I hit a great putt. Just sometimes you miss them. And I'll take a tap-in par anytime to start off a round. That's 2 points in the quota game. If this is your first time at my channel, or you need a refresher, I played a modified Stableford where I earn points based on how well I do on a hole. And I have to meet a score based on my handicap. The amount of points I need for this round is a course 15. I need 21 points, so let's see if I can do it. I hit a great drive on 2, and it's into the wind again, so now I'm hitting hybrid into the green. I hit it well, it's just going into this wind, there was really nothing I could do to get there. I end up short, and I decide to take putter, keep it on the ground. It's kind of going over a mound by that bunker, and I knock it up there, and I give myself another good look to maybe walk away with the second par. Again, I feel like I'm putting really well. This one stops right on the lip, little unfortunate. But bogeys never hurt you, that's another point. Hole 3 is a par 5, almost 500 yards. I noticed that this might be the longest par 5 on the course. The yardage isn't much, but the defense of the course isn't its yardage. It's the wind, it's the roll, it's the rough, it's the gorse. And as you'll see after I hit this great tee shot, and it ends up in a pretty good spot on top of a hill, actually the contours of the fairway are a big defense of the new course. Luckily there I had a pretty even lie and I was able to hit a 3-wood up close to the green. Left me a little wedge, which I hit really well. It's kind of hard on those field shots. It hits the front edge and rolls back. So I have to putt up the hill onto the green, and that was my birdie look, and this gives me a short little putt for a 5, another 2 points. Hole 4 is a medium length par 4. I take 3-wood. You can see the gorse in front of the tee. You can't actually see the fairway, and it's pretty wide, but I don't know that. So I hit my 3-wood out there, and you see me walking around because I think I've sliced it into the gorse. Turns out I'm fine, and I've got kind of a mid-iron into the green. This should be the go zone. I hit a good one. I try and keep it under the wind, and I just don't get it done. It comes up short in the front bunker, which the bunkers at the new course are brutal. I mean, all over Scotland, but I experienced it most at the new course. I'm able to kind of hack something out, and it gives me a very long par putt. I don't hit a good one. You can't tell from this, but it breaks significantly right to left. I have about 7 feet for a bogey. I hit a good putt. It just doesn't break. This is my first double, no points on the card. Hole number 5 is the first par 3, 167 yards. It felt like every par 3 we were playing was straight into the wind, and it just made it super difficult. I hit a pretty good shot. It just kind of flares out to the right, so it comes up short, and I'm going to have a chip to get it on the green. I'm coming out of the rough, so I really just want to make good contact, which I do, and I get it up there. And so I'm going to give myself kind of an outside look at par. This was the guy I was playing with. He was from Massachusetts, and he just drains a sick birdie putt there, so I figured I'd throw it in. All right, this is me with a very long look at par. Kind of, again, I feel like I'm hitting these putts well. It's just, it's golf, it's difficult, but a short tap-in bogey. Got another point on the card. Remember when I said yardage wasn't a concern at the new course? Well, hole 6 is a 421-yard par 4. So, took out driver and tried to step on it a little bit, and I flared it right, which right is playable, but it's really no good. There's a lot of thick rough and gorse over there. I ended up in just some spinach, and I was just trying to hack it out to the left, but when I swung my club, it kind of grabbed it. I didn't really get through it, and luckily it made it over the gorse, but I was nowhere near the green. Luckily, I just had a little half 54 degree, and I hit that decently well onto kind of the back right portion of the green, and I had a pretty decent par putt, which I just didn't hit a good one, and at this point, I was kind of defeated by this hole. So I had this short one for a point, I didn't get it, and that's my another double. Hole number 7 is a 329-yard par 4. It's pretty wide open, so you just kind of have to hit something out there. I take driver, and I hit a pretty good one. I was left with kind of a little chippy 9-iron in, so I hit that. I was pretty much right on line, just with the wind. It was kind of tough to judge these distances, and I come up short again, putting from just off the front of the green. I kind of read it going pretty straight. It went a little right to left, left me about a 6-footer, and the streak continues of me hitting decent putts, just kind of burning the edge, not scoring. Hole 8 is a 473-yard par 5 straight into the wind. Old course is on your left. They're doing construction. If you've seen my old course video, I actually hook it onto the new course on this exact piece of property. And I hit another kind of hook here, and it goes into some ground under repair. So I get a drop, but it's in the rough. You can see the white line there. I take hybrid just to try and hack one out. There's a lot of, kind of open grass out there. And so I hit something up there trying to give myself a wedge on and a look at birdie. Unfortunately, kind of my time in St. Andrews, my wedges were not going well. That one was poor. It comes up well short of the green, and now I've got a long, difficult 2-putt for par. I hit the first one from the front of the green, up on there, kind of give myself a look at par, which is about all I can do. Probably about 12, 13 feet, kind of going up over a ridge. And, again, I have putts at it. I hit good putts, and they're just not going. We'll see if it costs me in the long run. Hole 9 was this beautiful uphill par 3, 211 yards, but it was also brutal. Playing straight into the wind, I took hybrid, and I hit it, and I kind of hit a little bit of it was overdrawn, but then the wind carries it. Luckily, it doesn't go into the water, but I'm in deep stuff, just trying to hack something out. I can barely see my ball. It rolls over the green, leaving me this brutal putt up over the hill, through the fringe, and then you can't stop it once it gets on the other side. So now I've got probably 12, 13 feet for a bogey. Play it out to the right, just doesn't come back, and yeah, that's a double to finish off the front 9. Hole 10 was a 445-yard par 4, which seems categorically unfair for a golfer of my skill level, but it was actually a pretty beautiful hole. I hit my drive out there. Pretty good one, kind of rolled forever, but still left me with a hybrid in. I hit a really good one. With the wind, I kind of played a cut, and it worked perfectly, but I didn't have enough to get there. Ended up short, decided to hit the old Musselburgh iron. Read it pretty well, thought it looked good for a while, kind of broke a little low of the hole, and left me with a makeable par putt. Again, I knew this one as soon as I hit it, just didn't give it enough, but I tap it in for a bogey to start the back nine. Hole 11 is a 331-yard par 4, and I'm just going to let you enjoy this one because it was easily the best I played all day. Coming off a birdie with only par 5 on the back nine as a real scoreable option, maybe I'm turning things around here. Take driver and, nice fairway finder swing, get it out there. Middle of the fairway, take 3-wood. Hit a good one up there. It's kind of not as blind as it looks here on camera, but a tough one to gauge. Luckily, I come up just short of this bunker I couldn't see, and hit a little wedge over that onto the green, or, just short. But now I've got a look at birdie. Hit it pretty well, and now I have one of these kind of short mid-length par putts that I really need to make. And I drain it, that's another 2 points on the card. Hole 13 was a 147-yard par 3 that was playing straight into the teeth, so I think I took like a 5-iron or something. It's an elevated green heavily protected by bunkers, and it's a beautiful hole. I think I flare it way right. I think these guys up on the hill are in trouble, and unfortunately, I came up just against the edge of this bunker. I have to hit out backwards. I just barely get it out, kind of rolls down to the bottom of the false front, hit up the neck of the green, and then it leaves me this impossible downhill putt. You see I just barely tap it. Through bogey, I can't leave it short, but I do, and that's another double. Alright, my momentum stalled a little bit, but hole 14, 375-yard par 4, as long as I avoid the bunkers, I should be able to get back and play. Hit a drive out there, goes a little bit left, don't love that, and I love it even less when I get up to where it rolls to, which is, again, against the edge of these bunkers, trying to figure out, how do you even hit this? We don't really have this in America. The bunkers there are truly a hazard and need to be avoided, so it's, not fun when you're in one, but it is cool. I go, completely backwards, don't have a backswing, so I just try and chop something out. That goes poorly, my ball stays in the bunker, that's 3 out of the bunker. I'm able to get it out. 4 up onto the green is a little kind of punch 8-iron I hit, and it rolls through, giving me this super long outside look at bogey. Determined to not leave it short, I hit it a mile past the hole. That's 2 doubles in a row. I've got to stay out of the bunkers. Hole 15 is a gettable par 4, 376 yards. Fairway's kind of wide open, and I hit not a great one left, but it kind of slopes right, and it just rolls forever. And so I end up I hit kind of a knockdown 6, and I come up short. this leaves me with another one of these putts that kind of goes up and over a mound, and then you have to judge the speed right. I feel like I do a pretty good job, and it leaves me about a 4-footer for, what is this, for par? And we know how my par putts have gone. This one's no different. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but it lips out. That's a bogey. Look, if I want to make quota, I got to get something going. Not sure a 403-yard par 4 is the place to do it, but you got to, play the course that's in front of you. I had a drive that looks like it's going a little bit right, but the fairway's nice and wide out there. I'm safe. I take hybrid and hit a really good one. There were some distances on these longer par 4s where 3-wood was too much and a hybrid wasn't going to get there, and so I ended up a little bit short. I've gotten pretty used to putting from this position, so hopefully this should be a pretty good one. And it is. It gives me a pretty makeable par putt, but if you've been watching this video, which thank you very much for your support, you know what happens here. I miss it by a couple inches, tap it in, that's another bogey. The penultimate hole at the new course is a beautiful par 3, a lot of fun to play. It's long, there's a just beast of a bunker short right, so you kind of got to cut something in. I try and do it, not that I really have that shot on command in my bag, and I overcook it, so I end up actually right at the bunker, which is, still safe. You can see it there, it's just, I can't go in there. So I flip a little wedge up over it, and, go over the green, but gives me a par putt. Again, just kind of miss. Sometimes they don't go in, but it's a nice tidy bogey, and on to the last. Hole 18. I need a birdie to meet quota, which is unlikely but not impossible, and it has to start with a good drive, which don't hit a great one. Kind of rolls out there into the rough, and it's a decently long hole. I think the pressure got to me, and I chunk it. So now I'm maybe 50 yards short, and I take my putter because I have to hole it. It's the easiest way to keep it online and give it a chance of going in, but it might have even been longer than that. I can't get it there. I end up short, and so I'm not going to make quota. But my final thoughts on the new course is it's a must-play when it's out there. It's a classic golf course. It's 130 years old, and everyone knows the history of the old course, and some of the great holes at the old course are, undeniably great holes, template holes, famous Open Championship holes, but I'd say the new course has a higher floor, and there's not a bad hole out there. So if you're out in St. Andrews, it's easier to get on, it's cheaper, and quite frankly, I think it might be more fun. Could not recommend it highly enough. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.